everyone, it's Tammy, and we are going to do our card number 2 in the Colorful Seasons bundle set. And I'm focusing on this Colorful Seasons stamp set that I just think is gorgeous, has lots of fun things, and I am looking forward to trying it out. And then we're also going to be using the seasonal layer thinlits that are available in a bundle for 10% less if you are interested in purchasing them together. It's very nice. I like both of them. I think that there's great, there's like this little Adirondack chair is available in the die, but it's not in here, but it works great with this little chair too. And then the snowflakes and such and the leaves, it's fantastic. So I think that you'd have a lot of fun doing it together if you are interested in getting the bundle. And if you want to shop, my shop is open 24/7 and the link is down below. It's just TT.Scraps.StampinUp.net. And we are going to do a card today using 2 of the new in colors, Berry Burst and Powder Pink. And then we're also going to be using the stamp set, and we're going to be using some of the flower and tree branch dies from the die set. And I'm also going to be using a piece of Designer Series paper that comes from our Colorful Theory Designer Series paper pack. And one side looks like this and the other side looks like this. And there's lots of cool colors in that pack. I'm also going to be using a little piece of, this is Tip Top Taupe, but you could use any of the browns. I'm just going to use this for our branch. And then I have Whisper White that I'm going to be doing some stamping, some die cutting, and this will also be our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this into our card base size. So I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 on the short side. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2 on the long side. And this would give us 2 A2 sized cards. If you choose to make 2 cards with this, you absolutely can. I am going to actually I'm going to make 1 card with this, but then this is what I'm going to use to do some of my cutouts. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half instead of, I have it scored in half. I'm going to go ahead and cut it just because I'm using it for something else. So I have another half that I can use for something, but this half is what I'm going to use to do my dies. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to fit. And let's see, I think I like it with the dark on the bottom and the light on the top. And I'm going to need this then at 4 by 5 1/4. So let's see, if I cut it here, yeah, I think that's all right. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting off a color that I really wanted. I could have split it up and cut a little bit off of each, but I'm good with that. That's fine. I'm going to save my scraps just for now, just in case. And then I'm going to make sure that I like the way that looks, and I do. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom. You don't have to do this right yet. You can wait until you've put everything else on it, but oops. I'm using my ATG gun, which is the same as your snail. If you wanted to use your snail for attaching the card front to the base, that's fine. This is the snail adhesive. And I also used my bone folder to burnish the side to make sure that this was an extra crisp edge. If you don't do that when you lay the card down, it will automatically try to open up because this cardstock is so nice and thick. It just kind of lays like this, but when you burnish the edge, you can see that it lays flat, and I just kind of like that better. Now I'm going to do some stamping because I want to punch out or die cut out the cards, not punch, die cut out the flowers that I'm going to use. And I haven't done this yet, so I'm going to look at this and see what I need to do. Let's see here. There are those that can go in the middle. And then there are these. So I'm going to, and there's this big one. I don't know, I think I want the bigger ones is what I'm kind of looking at. So I think I'll stamp them, and then I'll die cut out the outline of them. At least I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm kind of wondering what those look like. I might try both just to see. So I'm going to take these 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take my size D block, which is a 3x3. And I'm going to put these around in a way that I can still put every die on them when I have them laying still, so that they won't be too close to each other, if that makes sense. Because if I put them too close to each other, then when I went to put these dies on, they wouldn't cut together. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting them close, but not so close that I can't still cut them out together, like all 3 at the same time. And I think that that will work. And I'm going to stamp this with both my powder pink and my berry burst. And I think I'll do 2 of each. This is my first time using the powder pink. You can tell too, because the first time you open these pads, they're harder to open and close. I'm going to clean this off with my Stampin' scrub. And then I'm going to stamp this again twice. I really love this color. Now these darker colors will dye your stamps. Don't worry, that won't hurt them at all. That is perfectly normal. And it just discolors them because the dye is so pigmented. So now let's put these back. It does have little numbers now that I'm looking at it. That one says 3, 4, 5. This one says 3. I'm sure it's so you can fit this inside in there better. 4, 5. Whoops. Well, I didn't do a very good job with that. I'll stamp those in the end. I think I'll cut them out first. And I'm also going to cut out that branch. So let's go ahead and get to die cutting. I'm going to bring up my big shot. Make sure I have room. And I'm going to put my, hopefully you guys can see this, I think you can. I'm going to put my little die cuts down, and I really don't know how these go, so I'm just going to have to fiddle with them. Until I get it. That one looks good. This one has to go to that one. It's sticking to my finger. And then this one has to go to that one. There we go. Now, I'm also thinking that I may go ahead and cut out a set with these to see what this does, because I'm really not sure what this is going to do. Okay, I think that's good. I'll put the lid on, and I'm going to go all the way through. And then all the way back. Oh, and it moved on this one. Ooh. That's the only problem sometimes with going back. Sometimes they move. So maybe I won't go back this next time. So let's see, do you layer these on top of each other? Or what? I'm really still not sure. I think that might be what I do, but I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do, but I think I'm going to do it because I kind of messed up. So we'll just give it a whirl and see what happens. So then, and if you want to, something that sometimes is a better idea is to use some Post-it tape to hold these down. I just live on the wild side and don't usually do that. Oh, I was going to do these this time. Well, maybe I should just keep it. I'm just going to go with this. So I'm just going to go through one time. You really shouldn't have to go through twice. It's just sometimes I mean, it has to come back, so I just like to bring it on back. But hopefully you guys can see that that did a little better job. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing quite yet, but I'll show you. Get all these little flowers off. Alright, now I'm going to cut the branch, and I'm going to use that with the tip-top taupe. So I'm just going to lay the tip-top taupe down. Lay my branch down, cover it up. I didn't do any stamping on that first, I just am doing the cut. Alright, so let me show you what we have now. So I used both the outline and the, I don't know what to call that, the inside part, and then here's the branch, which was just that. So here's my branch. So that's perfect. And then here are all the flowers, and here are all the flowers. So I don't know if I'm going to need the inside of the flower. I kind of doubt that I will. I'm just going to take my card base, and I'm going to put my branch down however I feel like I want it. I might put a sentiment, I'm not sure yet. I guess I want to see how the branch does first. And I'm going to do my fine tip glue pen. I'm just laying that down on my card front. Now I'm going to take the base of the flowers, the one that is the cutout, like the whole thing is cut out. I'm just going to stick these around here. Most of them are the powder pink, but some of them are the berry burst. And that looks like all of them, and then the rest are tops. So I think what I'm going to do with my tops is I'm thinking I'm going to dimensional them. Or maybe I'll just bend them. And like put it on top, but just put a little bit of glue in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. So like on this one, I'm just going to put a little glue on that last petal and a little bit down the middle. And I'm just not even going to put it on here straight, but it's the same flower. And hopefully this will work, where I can still lift up the sides. This is the big flower, so I'm going to kind of fold it down the middle, put some glue in the middle. I'm doing the same thing with this one. Since that one's so off on color, I'm just putting it wherever. I don't even care. But see, you can use your mess ups because nobody knows. Nobody knows. And if you're giving this to somebody who does know like these flowers and knows how they're supposed to look exactly, then maybe you should be more careful. But how do you know somebody? I mean, I don't know these flowers. I think that these are like Japanese flowers. They look beautiful. But, you know, it's the thought that counts still. Well, and this is from somebody who has an issue with giving things to people that aren't perfect too. But I do know that at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, and you just need to do it. This one still has some of those little things in it, so I'm going to pick those out. Now, if I wanted to stamp those centers, I could too. I'm just not even going to worry about it, because honestly, I think they're so little that I don't think with this particular card it's going to matter. Oh, the whole thing came up almost. Yeah, I think that's pretty. And I think I am going to do a sentiment, if I can figure out one that I like. Let's see, what do we have here? Life is a beautiful thing, thinking of you. Ooh, I kind of just like thinking of you. Let's find that. Or you make me smile. I like thinking of you. I like thinking of you, and I like the sentiment thinking of you. Ha 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 ha. And I'm going to do this in the Berry Burst. So you could do this in a very monochromatic card too. If you, instead of using the powder pink, you could use a second generation of the Berry Burst. There we go. Oh, I hear a little birdie singing out there. He's singing. Alright, so there is our card number 2. And I am really liking this one now that I see it. And then you open it this way and write your little words in there. Very cute, if I say so myself. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.